Hi, and welcome to my Portugal travel diary. This trip is very low-key. The last time I was in Portugal, we did a lot of sightseeing and running around Lisbon and Sintra, and that was really amazing. But this time I'm staying in Guia near Albufeira for the first half of my trip, and then going a little bit north of Lisbon, and I'm just doing a really slow-paced trip for myself where I'm focusing more on my yoga practice, on painting, on walks along the coastline, and things that are a little bit more meditative that can help me rediscover my relationship with myself. So I'm looking forward to it. It's arrival time, which means checking in, having a quick snack, and then spending some time on the property just to relax.
When I was lonely, you were with me. When I was empty.
I often feel happiest when I have time for slow afternoons and time to read. One of the things I always overpack are books, and I'm going to show you my reading pile that I brought with me. And I always read more than one book at one time, but the one that I have just started that I really like is Please Yourself by Emma Reed. And it's a book on how to stop people pleasing. And something that I've been working on this year is establishing my boundaries and communicating my needs more effectively. And in the beginning, she breaks down the different types of pleasing people profiles, and there's 4 main ones. So I'd highly recommend this one. The other one I'm reading at the same time, and I always have multiple bookmarks at one time to so I can bookmark certain pages, and oftentimes they're just boarding passes, so excuse that, is The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. I started listening to her podcast, and this book just spoke out to me first, so I decided to start with this one. So I'm reading them a little bit out of order. And it's about transforming fear to faith, and she has different exercises and lessons inside. I've also just started this one, so I don't have too many tips for you. And then this one a friend recommended to me, and you might have heard of this one, The Power of Now. And it's all about trying to stay in the present, being as aware as possible. And the main thing is that most of our suffering comes from being stuck in the past or the fear of the future. And it's all about being more aware of your current thoughts, your emotions, and those types of patterns. So that's a really good one. Oh, and I love this one. I've already finished this one. I'm rereading it, and you can see I've already bookmarked a few things. It's The Journey from Abandonment to Healing by Susan Anderson. This one is just really amazing. And it was really eye-opening to me because I realized that I have such a deep fear of abandonment, but it's not often addressed as the root cause. There's different symptoms, of course. For me, I realized that the root cause for a lot of things was the fear of abandonment, and she speaks about inner and outer child work, which is just amazing and eye-opening, because you can think about your inner child as the most innocent part of yourself, the part that needs love, care, and compassion. And that part of you might not have received that from your caregiver, your parent, growing up. And that's the part of you that often needs the most nurturing and understanding. So this is a really great one. And then if you are getting past a breakup, I cannot recommend this book enough. It's called Getting Past Your Breakup by Susan Elliott. So amazing because she really breaks down the different stages of your breakup. And in the relationship inventory, she asks you a list of, I believe, 13 questions. 13 questions for the relationship inventory. So you're not just looking at your relationship with rose-colored glasses, you really get to see your relationship as it was. And then the main part of the relationship inventory is that you reflect back on yourself and how you contributed to this relationship, any major incidents or issues that stem from your own issues, and then any significant statements you would like to say to your ex. And this part is especially helpful for me if there is something unresolved. You just get the chance to find your own closure. And then you do this over the course of 1 to 2 weeks, and then you take a break. I'm just giving you a summary for. But the most important thing is saying thank you, I'm sorry, and I forgive you. And she has this great segment about forgiveness, and that forgiveness isn't condoning what the other person did, especially if they did something to hurt you. It's forgiveness for yourself so that you can move on and let go. And Louise Hay, I don't have the book with me. She has this other book that I can't remember the name of right now, but my favorite affirmation from her book is...
I messed the quote up just a little bit, so I'm going to insert it here. The affirmation is, I forgive you for not being who I wanted you to be. I forgive you and I set you free. I forgive you and I set myself free.
So forgiveness is really about setting yourself free and letting go of the past. Oftentimes our relationship issues can really stem from our unresolved issues with our parents, and we're almost reenacting them, trying to resolve it, when in essence we have to go back to the root of the issue, the unresolved situation with our parents. And if you don't journal, this is a great way to start journaling. I am a big proponent of journaling. So to help just do a little brain dump, to reflect and get your life sorted. So these are all the books for you to see one more time. And I hope that was helpful. And I'll see you later. I'm just taking some time this afternoon to watercolor. There's some really nice natural light filtering in, and I really love watercolor because there's just something about the way that you can just create something with pigment and water. and you can't really mess up. It's just painting from the heart with intention that I really enjoy. And it's also really easy to travel with. And I'll show you my piece later. This is my little painting setup. And I just finished this one. So I'm in the yoga space right now and I'm about to film some content. It's something that I really enjoy doing, but I also wanted to put in the reminder here that Instagram only shows a little fraction of my life. It can seem like I just do really big poses all the time. And I do really enjoy doing big poses, sliding around on the floor and doing really fluid movements. But at the same time, my practice isn't always like that. Most of the time, it's a deep meditation practice, pranayama, and journaling for some self-reflection. But I do really enjoy feeling into the transitions and breathing into these shapes. But just know that that's not what the yoga practice is all about, essentially. It can seem like you have to be flexible or you have to be able to do these big shapes in order to do yoga, but you don't really have to. You could just sit and breathe and focus on your breath, staying aware, and you're already doing yoga. So that's just a little reminder I wanted to interject here.
When I was lonely, you were with me. When I was empty, you touched me gently. You give me a purpose in my life.
Check out my channel for more yoga and wellness videos, and make sure you're following me on Instagram to stay up to date. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.